Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Dr. Bagley. Okay, so I want to come back to you again, and we're going to talk about, again, a deep subject. Because I did a video last night in par, just going and venting off of some things that was on my mind that I was hearing. And then I found last night from one of our friends, our Facebook friends, and on her post, she had a post that says, can women or men take more pain? Hey, Holly, how you guys doing? And then pain defined in a broadest term. So that was her post. And so the question at hand in the post was, can women or men take more pain? And I explained in yesterday's video about the kids' position and the frustration of the kids' position, and then the frustration of the parents and kids. Now I want to talk to you about the frustration as a whole. All right. And what I did was I just went and got some data. And so I want to go real quick over some data just so you can get a better understanding on the situation at hand. One, because it is a serious situation because of the virus in so many ways. So many ways. And so let's get into this. And yes, so here is the 2002 annual report suicide for Wisconsin. And so this data says the 2009 to 2018, which they don't even have the 19 or 20. So as you see from 2009, there is a small peak here, and so that's where we're at in 2018. But then it's a major peak after that. So let's look at Wisconsin break it down a little bit more. So suicide as far as females and versus males. Okay. And then this is 5.7 and 2.5 in the relations of per data per 100,000 population. All right. Then you have it in race and ethics. You got blacks, you got Hispanics, and then you have whites. So I'm sorry they don't have the other cultures. But I don't care about the culture. I mean, I care about the cultures, but I more care about the adolescents and everyone. So here is interesting. So from 15 to 24 age group, there's 13,000 people as of 2020. 13,000 people already committed suicide in age 15 to 25. As far as ages 25 to 34, 22.6 thousand people committed suicide. Then it goes down from 35 to 44. And then it goes and spikes up again from 45 to 54. And then from 55 to 64 is 22,000. So that's the age group there, which is it's very disturbing if you ask me. Now, in the United States, as of the United States, here's the data for United States. The age group from 10 to 14, okay, 15 to 24, and 25 and 34, in the United States, suicide is the second cause of death. The second cause of death. Okay. And in the world, here's the world, United States is the seventh. And this is what I said yesterday. It's across the board. It's the seventh in the United States. Is the seventh in the world of suicide. Now, why is it a spike? Because it is a serious issue at hand when it comes to depression. So when we talk about depression, we're talking about depression in a broad stroke. It can be from why a single woman, not a single woman, but yes, a single woman, a mother and a single parent, I should say, single parent a boyfriend, girlfriend, a husband and wife, all of these things, there is a problem in the depression state, if you will, in trying to figure out and wondering, to the question, to the point of the post, can woman or man take more pain? So I want to break it down in a couple of things. I want to talk a little bit about the relationship point of view, because I talked about it yesterday a little bit. Then I want to talk about a parent, and then I want to talk about adolescents or kids, just real quickly. When it comes to single in dating, singles, when it comes to that point of view, you have to realize that if you're going to find someone that you want to date, if they don't have a vision of why they want to date, then they're probably 9 out of 10 times they're going to use you. Now, in using you, let me define a scenario, if you will. So a guy and a girl get together. They don't want to talk about the serious part of dating to the future point. Okay, what do you want? Okay, let's just have fun. Let's just go out and have fun. So they go out, have fun the first date. Then they go out the second date and they have fun again. And the third date, and they go out and have fun again. And in that process, they're going out, having fun, having sex, probably drinking and probably having a good time. And they working around that. And then all of a sudden, one or both of the parties wake up and they say, I think I want to just not be with you anymore. And then the other person feels like, I just wasted all my time with you. Well, the question is, how is that possible that I just wasted my time with you? Well, because quite honestly, no relationship will survive if there's no purpose. You can have a good time when you're dating. And we can have a good time, and we can have romance, we can have sexuality, we can have all of those things wrapped up in a relationship building. But unless you have purpose, unless you have a goal within the relationship is going to get boring. There's only so much you can do if you want to go out. There's only so much drinking you can do. There's only so much sex that you can give. There's only so much you can ask for in a person when you guys are dating. There's only so much before it gets boring. And it gets boring because where are we going? What are we doing? What is our purpose of even being together? Now that's in the dating position. What happens if you're engaged or married? Well, the question is still the same. It's going to get boring. And when it gets boring, it's only boring because there's no goal. There's no vision of the relationship itself. Why are we together? What are we doing together? And if you don't have that, the relationship is going to get bored, and that boredom and society and technology is so broad nowadays, it is easy to start the cheating process, which at the end of the day, the root of cheating is not the sex. The root of cheating is your giving your emotion, your conversations over to someone else. To stop the boredom, you have to have goals. You have to have a vision. If you have a fiance or a husband or a boyfriend, if you have that, look at each other and ask each other, why are we together? What is our purpose of being together? Is it purpose to raise kids? Okay, the kids are being raised. Now what? This is why one of the data says later in age, 55 to 64, they commit suicides. Why? Because later in age, kids are grown. Now what? Well, let's say we're together, we're going to get a house, and we're going to get married. Okay, perfect. We got married, we got a house. Now what? Well, let's start a family. Okay, we're starting a family. Now what? Well, let's do some vacationing. Okay, great, vacation. Now what? That now what is the danger of relationship in today's time. Because in today's time, society and social things out there is open, so open that there is no reason to be dedicated anymore. And you find in a lot of relationships, the evidence, we find in a lot of relationships, there is no dedication because of various reasons, of course. But the whole point is because the now what has not been answered. So in the beginning of a relationship, and you guys are beautiful, you guys are smart, you guys have good jobs out there, you're doing great things out there, but there's problems in your relationship, don't assume nothing. Don't believe nothing. Assuming is not factual. Belief is not factual. The truth is you got to have communication and you got to ask the right questions. And that is, what are we doing together? So in a relationship, that's what I want to bring out today. Look at your mates, look at the person if you're dating, ask the question, what are we doing? What is our purpose? Where's the vision? Let me show you what I'm talking about. The vision, okay? In a relationship, you always want to have a vision, but then you have to ask yourself from that vision, now what once we accomplish this vision? And that's how you keep the relationship. But to start the relationship, you have to have a vision. Someone needs to have a vision, and then someone needs to have that vision to hold it together. Okay. So that's that part. Parents, single parents, and even married parents who have kids, especially in today's time. I talked about it before, but I want to just refresh. The stresses that's going on when it comes to the relationship, when it comes to the kids, when it comes to your own profession, when it comes to all of those things, is starting to build up. The stresses has already built up in a lot of relationships, a lot of parents. May I suggest, take a breather. Figure out a way to calm down. Figure out something else to do with your kids and yourself to walk away. Not to simply say walk away as abandonment, walk away, but I'm saying walk away as far as find a new activity to do. Find some excitement in your relationship of what to do. Find a new goal. Start a new project with your kids and your mate. If you're at home and you're just bored, if your kids are bored and your mate is bored, you're bored of your mate, find a new activity to do something. Let's start selling something. Let's start learning something new. Like we're going to learn stock market and we're going to get into the stock market together. And we're going to learn it together and we're going to invest together. You got to find something to do with you and your kids, parents. And at the same time, teach them how to cook. Teach them what a budget is. Teach them what it means to live on their own. Parents, we need to be parents. We need to be educators. We don't need to be their friends. You have to be guidance. So when they grow up and they get on their own, the analogy that I used was the ego. and the nest and the chicks, the mother kicks them out of the nest so they can have freedom of understanding and learning how to fly on their own. They're not dependent on their own, which goes to a point, as a psychiatrist, it goes to a point when you see a spike in male and female right there. All right, so the top one is female, this is the male. Then you got another spike when it comes to whites right there. Okay. Now, why is that? One of the major reason, and I hate to say this, but one of the reasons is the parenting that white families do versus other cultures, and that is typically white families, they protect their kids to the point that when it's time for the men to be men, they don't know how to be a man when it's time to go out to be a man. Not only do they not know how to be a man when it's time to be a man, they also don't know what it means to be a father, and they don't know what it means to be a husband when they outside of the dependence of the parent and the relations of their parents. It is not uncommon for a child to be dependent on the parent. Now, why statistically is the whites and males higher is because when they were young, no one taught the male how to be a man, and then the man point of view didn't teach him how to be a father because of the single parent position, and then the father didn't teach him how to be a husband because of the single parent position. And when they're now 18 and they go out and they think life is all about fairy tale land, and they think life is all about sugars and spices and somebody's going to maid for you. No woman is going to want to be with a mama's boy. No woman is going to want to slave over a man who don't know how to do nothing. And that frustration, that stress, all of that is wrapped up. And privately, their alcohol, their drugs, their other dependents to cover the frustration and pain that leads into other things, including clinical depressions, including suicide. Statistically, data explains the severeness of the situation, and this is not including, the full data is not even including what's going on in the psyche of, in the timeline of the virus. So parents, please, it is a cause and effect to our young adolescents as a whole, male and female. It is a cause and effect. If you have them depend on you too much, they're not going to be prepared for when they go out to college or go out to the public and work, because some of them are not meant for college. But they're not going to be ready. And our job as parents is to prepare them, the adolescents, starting young, because the data says in the age group in the United States, 10 years old, they're starting to commit suicide. And United States is the second cause at 10 years old, second cause of suicide in the United States. So in part, the parents is not preparing the kids, the adolescents, for adulthood. The child then becomes dependent on the parent, And then the child, when they're forced out of the nest, they're just going to give up because it's too hard for them to figure it out. Because when they're trying to figure it out, it's not the time to figure it out. And when they're trying to figure it out, it's time when they're at home to figure it out, not when they're out on their own to figure it out. So that's an issue, and parents, you have to figure that out to train them while they're underneath your protection. And then when they're ready to leave you, then they should be ready to live on their own. Okay, so that's parents. The third part is the child itself, the adolescent itself. Why is a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, and 10 and 15 to 24, 10 to 24 age group, why are they committing suicide, and why is it the second highest in the nation of the total deaths out there? Is because of prison. Think about this, and I talked about it yesterday, but I'll refresh. A child comes home from school. When the child was at school, they had their clique, they had their people to hang out with, so they had the social connection. And a lot of times, even if they were alone, they still had someone to talk to, so they weren't 100% alone. So they had that social connection. They come home. A lot of kids, a lot of adolescents don't have a connection with their parents because, one, they're working or doing other activities. Not all, I'm just saying some. And then when they come home, even if they have extra activities during the day, when they do come home, they go in a room, they shut the door, and they put themselves in prison. Their room is a box with a door, and they come out to feed, to exercise, and they go back into their room. That's a prison. On a normal basis, it was hard because this data is 2018 and it was the second highest. What do you think it is now when their school is not there and they're at home in the room, in prison, in the room, and at the same time they're educating themselves in the room? So they're really staying in their room day and night. And like I said before, you can take the strongest man, the strongest mental man, put him in solitary, and it's just a matter of time before his psyche breaks. Because his chemical imbalance that he will have is being alone, if you will. I don't want to get too technical with it, but it's just him feeling alone is equivalent to somebody feeling like they're getting ready to die, like on their deathbed. That hormone is present. So now you have no school. Now you have no relations with the parents or outside sources. Now they're in a room with a door. They staying in there playing video games, doing the social media in a prison. Now, added to that factor, 10 years old and 15, added to the factor that they're on their social media doing posts and no one's liking it, and really, really no one is connecting with them, and they're feeling extra alone because they're in a box with a door and no one's in them. They're in solitude. Parents, we have to get those kids out of that damn room. If they are in school and you're still teaching them online, get that damn computer and take it in the kitchen, take it in the living room, take it out of their room. Put it by the door. A window. Put them by a window. Let them look outside. At least put them their homework. Let them do their homework. Let them do their schoolwork while they're in school. Put them by a damn window or something. But get them out that damn box. And I'm not saying put them by a window in the room. Get them out the damn room. Second, education. I know a lot of them are still doing at-home stuff, so get them out their room. Put their computer out their room. Second, as a parent, get them out the house after school. I don't care if it's just putting them in a car and just driving around. Pick up a couple of their friends, drive around, and then bring them back, drop them back off, or whatever. Get them out the house. Get them out the house. And then start to do extra activities with your kids and grandkids. Extra activities is learn to do something together. We used to play games together. Okay, fine. Have a game night, have a movie night, have something like that. But kids are too technically advanced now, so games might be a little slow in their mind, their state of mind. Learn a new skill, meaning teach them how to sell, teach them the stock market, teach them how to build something, buy them a little whatever they like to do, robots or dolls, it doesn't matter. Get them to understand that process and then put it on them. Push it on them, parents. Because you have to get them out of the room. You have to get their minds stimulated to know that they're not by themselves. Now, I know it's not going to fix everything, but hopefully it'll start looking at your families and our families and bringing some attention to the point. So real quick, and I'll recap just to close. Single moms and dads, and dating position. Find someone that has a vision. You have a vision. What is your reason? What's your purpose? And then put that together. Okay? A vision keeps it together. And someone who doesn't have a vision, you're just wasting time. Parents, don't let your kids be dependent on you. You have to train them for adulthood. Get them in a position to kick them out the nest. If you don't, and they're not ready, data says males especially, they can't handle real life. So prepare especially your guys, and so on. And then lastly, kids, get them out of the dang room. That's solitude. You get them out of the room. Let them do homework in another part of the house. Let them sleep in another part of the house. Let them play. Get them out of that dang room, and then get them out of the house at least twice or whatever, as long as the virus is kicking in and going on. Have, like, I don't know, sleepover parties and camping parties, or I don't know, just do something. Get them out, because, you know, me, I go outside. Like, put your winter stuff on and go. If you're older, do you not remember a time when we went outside and played outside? Even when it snowed, do you not remember we played outside for half a day? Anyway, I don't know. I'm just trying to bring awareness. I'm not trying to bring depression, but just bring awareness. Now, call up your friends. If you know you have some single friends, if you know you have some single parents, call them up and just check on them, see how they're doing. And don't say, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. No, don't forget that. Let's get together. We're getting together. Call up your single parents and let's get together. Parents, call me or call somebody to say, how do I train my kids to be independent from me, so when there's time for them to be an adult, they can be independent, because data doesn't lie. And then parents, get your kids out of their room and start to find different activities for them. All right? So if you do have any questions or comments, or you will have any questions, comments, or about those three subjects that I just went through, please do not hesitate in calling me. Just let me know. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. Okay? Until next time, have a great day. It's going to snow tonight. Go to the store. I don't know what's going to happen. Just whatever. We're in Wisconsin. Anyway, have a great day and call me if you need me, but I'll be here because I'm here for you. Other than that, have a great day and I will talk to you guys soon. All right, let me wave back to everyone. Manual, faith and family, boom. Held up, Vine, Memory, boom.